Hi, everybody. It's Mr. B from Hayfield Secondary School, Fairfax County Public Schools. This video is to help teachers get started with the bottle rocket project, water bottle rocket project, using white box learning. The first thing you got to do is kind of decide, okay, what kind of rocket do I want to build? You can build a couple different sizes, and where do I want to source my materials from? You have some options. Yes, one of those options is white box learning, and in this past year and last year, I did buy a lot of my materials from them. But in previous years, I have bought them from Pittsco. I actually bought a lot of materials from Pittsco this year as well for my Engineering 1. I made a distinction between my Engineering 1 class and my Engineering 2 class. I bought materials from those two vendors. I'll show you what they have available, and you can decide. And so this is going to be a screenshot video. I'm going to switch, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing, and you're going to see my whole screen. I'm going to go full screen on this, and hopefully this will help you get started really, really quick. So let me go ahead and go to screen. All right, so you've logged into Whitebox, and you've decided you want to do a rocket project, all right? So here we are. So what this is, if you go to Whitebox Learning and click on Store, this is their store. Let's go to Rockets. What do they have available? Okay, well, of course, they have everything you need except for the bottles, okay? And that's cool. That is totally cool. You have a variety of bottles you can use for this project. And maybe they just don't want to fill their warehouse up with a whole bunch of different bottles. I don't blame them. They don't sell for much, and they take up a heck of a lot of space. So here we go. You're going to need a kit. Here is the kit that they sell. I've used this kit. This kit is 25. You make 25 rockets out of this kit. Actually, this is a secret. Don't tell Whitebox. You can actually make twice that many out of this kit. Because these, with the exception of the parachute, but parachute material is, you can use painter's plastic for parachute material. You can use a grocery shopping bag for parachute material. The body tubes and the fin material and transition cone, these are all materials that you can source from other places. But they certainly do offer a very reasonably priced and convenient package. And these materials here, they're very generous with the materials that they give you. They really give you way more materials than you actually need, okay? And if you want to take the time to cut these down based on what a student actually needs after they design their rocket, and you can actually look at the size of their fins and how big of a transition cone are they making, you can actually stretch this a long way. You can either buy some of your own poster board, but you can actually make a lot more than 25 rockets. But very convenient. They're 25 ping pong ball, 25 parachutes, 25 tubes. There is an assortment of fin material because that's what the project allows them to pick from different fin materials. And of course, the material you would use for the transition cone as well. So there you go, all right? You're also going to need a launcher. Here is their launcher. I have not used this launcher before, but I'm sure it is just fine. I know a lot of people have used this launcher. What it looks like to me is this black spot in the middle is where you're going to hook the bottle onto your launcher. This cord here with the handle is going to be your release. And this black is going to be a pressure tube where you are going to remotely pressurize this rocket with a bicycle pump. It says sold separately. And it is right here. They have a foot pump to pump it up to your desired pressure, okay? Now, I do not see on this a pressure relief valve anywhere, so I'm sure you can pump these rockets up to whatever you want them to be within whatever the limits of the actual foot pump are. You know, most of these foot pumps can go up to over 100 psi. So that's going to really be completely up to you. So that's what Whitebox offers, really a one-stop shop. There's everything you need right there. Well, what does Pittsco offer? Well, they also, well, I'll take that back. It's not a one-stop shop, okay? Bottles. Where do I get my bottles, okay? Well, here's where you get your bottles. There are a couple of places. One, you can go to Amazon and search for bottles the sizes that you want. Now, it's very, very important. See, I search for, actually, I typed soda wrong. Make sure when you search for a bottle, you want a soda bottle, okay? It's very important because you need a bottle that is designed to take carbonated beverage, a bottle that's designed to take pressure, okay? You cannot just get a plain old water bottle like a Donzi water bottle or Aquafina water bottle. Won't work. And if you're going to let the kids bring in their own bottles, they have to be soda bottles, soft drink bottles, okay? They cannot be water bottles. Water bottles are not rated to take hardly any pressure at all, okay? These are going to be rated to take at least 125 psi, maybe more, okay? Now, here's a 1 liter bottle, because that's what I searched for. I'm sure Amazon might have 2 liter soda bottles, I guess. I never looked for them before, but it's Amazon. So, I don't know if they have any empty. No, they don't have anything. Doesn't look like anything bigger than 1 liter. The 1 liter is a 6-pack for $16. Or you can buy these for 95 cents and dump them out. And guess what? These would cost the same as those, except it would be a 2 liter bottle. Isn't that something? These are 95 cents a piece. These work out to more than that. That's kind of funny. So you can actually buy these 2 liter bottles here and dump the seltzer water out and use this bottle. It would be just fine, and you'd have a 2 liter bottle. Anyway, you can be creative on that. I do recommend you go with bottles that have these very smooth sides. You do, like Canada Dry bottle, a seltzer bottle. You do not want these Coca-Cola bottles, Sprite bottles. 7-Up is good. It's straight-sided. Pepsis are good. So I think anything under the Pepsi umbrella is going to have the straight side. The Cokes are always going to have their signature hourglass side. It makes fin design really complicated. Anyway, there you go. So, you know, they have everything you need except the bottle, and there are multiple sources of the bottle. Just make sure you get one that can take pressure. Now, if you're going the Pittsco route, okay, they too have a one-stop shop where you can buy your launcher. Now, you can buy a getting started kit, which will come with a classroom kit, a launcher, and a bicycle pump. And I know a lot about their launcher, and you can also buy the kits individually. And then, of course, you can buy a 20-ounce bottle, is what I use for my Engineering 1 class. And then I use the 1 liter bottles, actually use those. I buy these here to use with the white box project. So even though I'm using a white box rocket kit, I'm getting my bottles from Pittsco, okay? Because I can get 30 for $33, and Amazon wanted what, $16 for a 6-pack? No. So I can get them cheaper from Pittsco, right? They're just a little over $1 a piece, okay? So now this launcher, let me talk about this launcher. I am familiar with this launcher. This is what I'm currently using. Really good launcher. I've had it for many, many years. It's never let me down. It's nice. It's not slam on the ground. I don't have to bend over so far. I also like that the The launcher does not interfere with the fins. The fins are not going to be hitting the launcher, which is not the case with the white box launcher. Let's switch back here. See how the nozzle is really close to the launcher? Yeah, it limits your fin design because your fins can actually hit that. But do what you want. I don't own stock in either one of these companies. So I'm just trying to be very, very honest with you. Okay. Back to Pittsco. This launcher works. It's about 18 inches off the ground, which is a little bit easier on your back. Now this thing does have something. See this black doodad in the pressure hose here that's connected to your bicycle pump? That is a pressure relief valve, okay? It is set to 65 psi. So you cannot pressurize these rockets more than 65 psi. It will release, you just pump and pump and pump and pump until you hear this thing do a release. And to be honest with you, when it releases air at 65 psi, it makes a fart sound, and the kids get a big kick out of that. They never, middle school kids never get enough of that sound. So this is the launcher that I use. It's held up quite well. All right. So what do you want to do? It really is up to you. But you need to decide what you want to do, because when you come in here, and let's go into manage specs, manage a rocket spec, you can create your own spec. All right. Now they give you a bunch of default specs here. All right. And you can open up any one of these specs. It says this is going to be the size of the parachute, the pressure that we launch. I think this 4 on the end is the maximum number of fins. I think that's what that is. Let's open it and find out. Max fins. No, what is that? Yeah, that's max fins. Okay. I wasn't sure. I guess this one's like, no max. Oh, that says 4, just a typo in the spec. Anyway, you get the idea. All right. Now, let's say you don't like any of these specs. Well, you can do what I did. I started with this spec, the 65 psi, because that's what my launcher does. Because I have the Pittsco launcher, it stopped at 65, and so I opened up this one. Click, click, come on. I made a copy of it, and I made changes to it. I changed my parachute diameter to be, and I bought the white box kit. 290 millimeters is the maximum diameter of the parachute that they give you with their kit. The cone length, I think, is 400. Or the tube is 400 or 40 millimeters. Air pressure is set. I left the fins. Oh yeah. And I wanted to limit them. This is my Engineering 2 class. I wanted to limit them to a 1 liter bottle. Okay. So why did I do that? Okay. And then I clicked save and I gave it a name. I'm going to quit out of here because I want to show you. This is what I did. All right. Why did I do that? Well, the reason I did that is Engineering 2 is going to be building a different rocket than Engineering 1. The main difference is they're going to have a slightly bigger bottle. They're going to have a 1 liter bottle. And they are going to have to add a parachute to their design. Allowable parachute, yes. Not only yes, but in my book, required. Okay? So they're building a more complex design. Parachute makes it more complex. And with the bigger bottle, they need the bigger bottle. Their rocket's going to weigh a little bit more. But it's a little more fun for them. It's going to be more complex for them. So I did my own spec. This is what I decided I wanted to do. All right. Let's go back. So that was my Engineering 2. For Engineering 1, I want you to notice it says Engineering 1 Pittsco Stratoblaster. No parachute. This is a spec to use in white box for the Pittsco kit. Okay, I bought Pittsco kits and I bought white box kits. I'm keeping everybody, I'm spending my money, I'm throwing my money all over the place. All right. I like the Pittsco kit. I've used it for years. I like the white box kit for different reasons. Okay. For my Engineering 1 kids, I don't care about a parachute. The small body tube is fine. Okay. I like the price. Okay. So I went ahead and I bought their kit and I made a spec for it. So that spec is just like the Pittsco kit. And that is what this allows you to do. So I opened up one of these specs and I customized it to make it look like the Pittsco rocket kit. So you'll see here, no parachute. Parachute diameter doesn't matter. The tube is smaller. I restricted them to 3 fins. You can't have 4, buddy. That's it. It's just 3. And only a 20-ounce bottle. Okay? That's what they're building. So, that's it. What do you want to do? You want to build a Pittsco rocket? You want to build a white box rocket? You want to build a 1 liter or 2 liter or 20-ounce rocket? Whatever you want, okay? If I had a recommendation, I would probably say, you know what? Just start with Pittsco. I mean, they make it really, really easy. Just buy their stuff. Create a spec for them. That's fine. But it's really not hard to create a spec for white box either. But the Pittsco launcher has been a rock. It has been incredibly reliable. I can attest to that. I'm not saying anything bad about white box. It might be a rock too. I don't know. Okay? So figure out what you want to do first and then get all your stuff together. And I would get my stuff together, at least I'd get the orders in before I would set that spec. Because here's the problem. Okay? I go into my classes and I'm going to manage my classrooms and I'm going to go to my test classroom because I use this for testing. I'm going to add the rocket activity. Rocket. I'm going to tell it what spec I want to use, okay? I'm going to use the Engineering 2 spec. I'm going to save it, all right? Now students can log into that class and I'm going to use a backdoor to log into that class, which here I have, okay? And I am building a rocket against that spec, all right? If I order my materials after they start building a rocket and realize I can't get exactly the materials that I put in the spec, and I have to change the spec, guess what? Their rocket designs just disappear. If I change the spec, this rocket was designed against the old spec. So you don't want to change specs on kids because then they got to start from scratch again, and you don't want to do that. They don't want you to do that. All right? Sometimes things are going to come up where you're like, hey kids, sorry, didn't know this, this order is not going to show up. We had that happen during, when we got back from COVID. Stuff just wasn't showing up. And Mr. B had to improvise and had to say, look, I had to change a spec on you and use materials that I already had in the storeroom. So I had to change the spec on you. Sorry. Pretty understanding about that, okay? So there you go. So that's where you can get your materials. Figure out how you want your rocket to look as far as the spec go. Go in there and create a spec and just go in there using one of the existing specs. Just go in here and say manage specs. Pick one of the ones under rockets, and it comes with 4. These 4 over here, these are all mine, okay? And I shared 2 of them with the district, meaning I shared them with Fairfax County Public Schools, okay? So any other teachers in the county can get a hold of these and use them if they wish. So when they go in and look at their specs, they see over here under shared specs over here, they will see my specs that I shared with them, and they can just go, oh yeah, I'm going to use that one Mr. B did, because I'm about to produce a video showing you how to build, or at least the students how to engineer, how to design a rocket that meets the engineering to specification, okay? And so they might choose to use my spec in my video that shows the kids how to do it. And then there's also video that shows them actually how to cut it all up and glue it all together. And a brand new teacher, you know, just starting out, you got a million things to figure out. It's really nice, you know, to have a project in the can where you can just open up that can and go, hey, thanks, Mr. B. This is what we're going to do. You know, this is a project we're going to do. I know what I'm going to buy. I know what videos I'm going to use, and here's how we're going to move forward. Get a project done, you know, boom, okay? Hope that helps you a little bit. Of course, I'm always around to ask questions about my rambling videos. That wasn't too bad, 21 minutes. That's a lot of information. But anyway, I hope you all have a good day. And